Contemporary art is a multitude of different things.
Contemporary art could be ceramics,
It could be paintings, it could be music.
Film,
All sorts of different things.
sculpture,
Can be on the internet,
a narrative, drama.
it could be an installation, it could be a piece of music,
can be digital art.
it could be a performance. It's massively wide.
It can be so many things.
It's a term with a lot of baggage, really. It's a term that a lot of people can hear, contemporary art, and they can feel a little unnerved by it.
People say, is that Tracey Emin's bed?
I think that people believe that there's some mystical depth to contemporary art.
Is that Damien Hirst? Is that, and they'll give another example.
I did, before I started on this course, make the mistake of Googling contemporary art. Gave myself a headache, ripped up any possible definition that I read and thought, it's just something that you look at and you take from it. Or, I also learned, listen to.
I think that people get very mixed up with the idea that you've got to like it or dislike it, and if you dislike it then you don't engage with it. And I think art's about more than that. It's about challenge and experience and thinking out of the box. And contemporary art does that, as does Piero della Francesca and all the other artists.
Contemporary art is artists working today. That means no more than that. It means artists working today. And you know, when artists work with heritage settings, it becomes really interesting because they love researching. They love the history of a place, the atmosphere of a place, the story of our lives, our human lives, our society. That's what art is about. So there is a lot of research that goes on. So that's why I'm particularly interested in seeing artists work in heritage sites, contemporary art in heritage sites.
I have to admit that at the start of this course, when we were discussing contemporary art in a heritage setting, I wasn't entirely certain, and I'm going to be honest here, what contemporary art was or what it actually meant. And then further into my thinking, I started to think, well, why don't we just refer to it as modern art? And I've since asked myself the same question, what is contemporary art? I did a Google search and discovered that actually modern art isn't modern art anymore. It was a period of time, it was a genre, if you like, that ended 1970s, 1980s, and then since contemporary art has moved on further. And I wonder if there's a misunderstanding construed with contemporary art in general.
The easy definition would be to say contemporary art is art of our time. So it's art made by living artists, artists living today and in the very recent past. Contemporary art is also art which is maybe trying to push boundaries in some way, but it could also be art that's sort of engaging with contemporary issues, which is engaging with the contemporary world and what we're dealing with.
And what's it for? Well, it's for different things depending on who you are. So if you're the artist, it's the way you express yourself. It's for the gallery, it's what you put in your spaces. If it's for a heritage organisation, it might be to change the visitor experience, or it might be to get more people in or get different people in.
It's a way of enabling different stories, perspectives and viewpoints to come to the surface, and allows you as the viewer to encounter those and to think differently about the object, the world, the discourse that's around it.
It's work that inspires conversations, prompts dialogue, can be challenging, can be beautiful, but irrespective, it's something that engages people and I guess starts conversations.
I guess what it's for is to explore emotions, feelings, the life we're living in, the things around us. I mean, I think it's just so broad now that it can be used for many, many different things, but it's a way of exploring ideas and feelings.
And it's for people to enjoy. Sometimes it's to make you think. A little bit outside your comfort zone, possibly. Just depends what sort of mood you're in.
Possibly because of the media, people have preconceived ideas about what we mean by contemporary art, or there's some sort of unconscious bias there. Because I'm involved with it through work, I understand what it means, and it doesn't cause a problem for me, but I can see how the look on other people's faces, be they visitors or friends and family, when I mention that we've got some contemporary art at one of the properties.
Well, to me, contemporary art is a way of looking at life, at culture, at a place in a completely different way. It's about challenging perceptions. It's about understanding who you are as well as the place.
There's no reason to feel unnerved by it, because you're feeling more unnerved by the word contemporary than you are by the word art. So let's focus on art and just move past the baggage and say it's the art of the now.
Artists, for me, have a different voice, have an opportunity to open up conversation and creatively engage where maybe others don't have the opportunity to do so.